Oh man. Oh my goodness. We are here. You know, let me just say this. So the day has moved fairly quickly. It's moved fairly quickly for me today. I got up this morning, like I said I would, and I got my 7K purple run in. That was good. Gotta get your exercise in, right? Get your exercise in. And then what do we do after that? Well, I had to soak it out because these old bones and muscles, they don't move like they used to, right? They don't move like they used to. And then before I knew it, I was like, holy smikes, it's almost 3 o'clock. I have things to do today. Like there's been consultations and all this other kind of stuff. So, we're making it work. We're making it work. So, hello and welcome to Girl Listen. And today is different because normally we want to talk about topics that are impacting, women as we are going through the aging process. We're looking at things that are happening in our neighborhoods, social injustices, all those things. But today we're looking at self, and we are specifically talking about how Prince saved my life, which I know it can sound a little bit dramatic, but not so much. So before we do that, shout out to Spencer, who is coming in from Atlanta, who is a huge, like really huge Prince fan. So thank you, Spencer. As a matter of fact, it's funny enough that you're here because we're going to talk about you as well somewhere in this. I'm planning for 30 minutes. I'm planning for 30 because we have another consultation going on today, which means there will be no wine during this live. It's like, not that I always drink wine, but hey, it's Friday. It's Friday. It's almost like after 5 o'clock. What can I tell you? It's almost at the 5 o'clock, so it's Friday. So let me just start with a couple of things because I think about there are moments in our life that are turning points. We all have them. And I am a true believer that somewhere in there, depending on what sparks your energy, there could be a creative, an artist, a poet, singer, a business person, who knows, who has just struck a chord in your soul. And that person has stayed with you throughout your life, right? Like, I really do believe that. So Prince is my person. He is my person. So I'm going to start off with something very simple because I know a lot of us are aware of Prince Rogers Nelson. I know we're aware of him. And depending on your music feel, you may have stopped when he decided that he was going to continue evolving, which is what I really like. But what's your favorite Prince song? Now, for some of us, that's a hard one because I have a plethora of favorites. Really depends on the mood and what I'm doing, but I can narrow down like my top five. I can definitely do that. I can definitely narrow down my top five. But what is your favorite Prince song? Throw it in the comments. Throw it in the comments and let us know where you're also coming in from. Like we are doing this on YouTube, LinkedIn, and I want to say Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken because there's a lot going on today. I could be mistaken, but I want to say we're coming in all those places. But what is your favorite Prince song? Let us know what that is and where you are, like where are you tuning in from and where are you right now? Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my top five, and then I'll talk about the moment that Prince saved my life. Because, woo, child, I mean, and I'm not even really sure if the young people today have a person who does that for them. I'm not really sure because I don't really play the radio that often. I'm just saying, but there are some people. There are some people that just touch you, and the story touches you, and they just kind of they get you through all the moments of your life. So if we start with our favorite Prince songs, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that Adore is my number one. It is one of the most beautiful songs known to man. Absolutely, absolutely loved it. I shared this week that when I wrote my wedding vows, that was in my vows. It was there. Unfortunately, our minister got some things mixed up and we did not say the vows that we wrote for each other. So there goes that moment. But it's okay because he was still part of my wedding. It's okay. So I'm not that upset because when we got to the hotel, we actually recited the vows we wrote for each other. But he was definitely part of my wedding. It's just, those words, when I think about it, I think about my husband, right? Until the end of time. Until the end of time, right? And even if I was blind, your beauty, I could still see. What? Oh, man, you can't write stuff like that. Like, how do you write stuff like that? Really? Like to be that creative? Now, when I was in high school, I got my fair share of accolades for being a poet. I have to admit that. So, looking at his words and seeing how he would play with all of the tools, I thought, man, that's exciting. Exciting. So, Adore is my number one. Hands down. Hey, we've got Cameron coming in. Hello to Cameron. Hello, hello, hello. Love to see you here. And I'm not mistaken. Are you in New York now? I could have sworn I saw that somewhere. Could have sworn I saw that you're living in the New York streets, which is my second home. I could have sworn I saw that. Thank you for tuning in. If you have a favorite Prince song, by all means, go ahead, throw it in the comments because we are talking about Prince. And again, I did a celebration video to my dear friend Spencer. I'm going to talk about him later today, later in this moment. But it is great when Prince fans unite. I mean, what can I tell you? I recall when Michael Jackson died. I was on the subway in New York. My friend Mary called, and I had to get off the subway because I was so in shock. I was like, "What? Not Mike? Not Michael? What?" And we just talked about like how he touched the world. And then when I got on the subway, people were singing his songs, sharing their ideas. Like there are certain artists that just transcend time, right? And they literally have this wake, this presence that even years after, they are still impacting lives. So I told people, I was like, when Prince passes away, I'm going to Paisley Park. Like I am making the pilgrimage. I am going to pay my respects. Like I am doing it. And I did actually on his birthday. So months later, I absolutely did it because I had to be there. Like, and to see the big white mansion and to just like put my eyes on Paisley Park, I'm like, oh my God. But there were so many people from all over who flew in from overseas, who drove, who were local, who went to Paisley Park, left a message, a loving memory on the fence, which they took down and put back up, and more were left. But we were just sharing our memories, our favorite songs. It was, I don't even know if there's another person who's going to reach that. Like, I'm not sure if there's anybody else. If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm not so sure there's another person who is going to touch that many people and bring people together in that kind of context. Like it was just something, something to just, when I tell you, I was like, I was like, I couldn't. And then we partied all night. We partied all night at the Aloft Hotel, partied all night. People dressed up. That's something else. But we were dancing and stomping and just praising it. Right? I'm saying we were just getting it. But sometimes you have to do that, right? Sometimes okay, so we're in Brooklyn. All right. Brooklyn's the place. You know what? When I was there, it didn't have all those big fancy buildings. Well, actually, I lived in Wash Heights, so let me not say it like that. But when I was living in Manhattan and then traveling to my friends in Brooklyn, but what could I say? All right, and so number one is Adore. If I had to pick a number two, I'm gonna go ahead and say Love Sexy. And if you bought the Love Sexy album, you know that when it first came out, it was like this just one long song. And I could have sworn that the CD was messed up. Because I was like, well, there's no way to like fast forward. It's like you had to play the entire album. And now that I'm older, I love that sucker. from the beginning to the end. It is nonstop. It is its own entire mood. Ugh. And of course, we know that that album cover made headlines because he was like naked, and people were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this man! Oh my god, I can't." Okay, first of all, he's a tiny guy. He was not like the biggest dude, right? He wasn't the biggest dude, so so for him to just sort of be posed the way he was, like the flowers and everything, it was different. We were like, "Oh, okay," but he always did different things, right? Like, was he not the one who had like the pants that had all your backside out? And we were like, oh my God, what is he doing now? Right? Like, what is he doing? What is that about? So Prince has always pushed the envelope from way back when he got started, until even when he transcended, that man was on the next thing. He was on the next, right? So nothing against Miley Cyrus and some of these other kids. We didn't been there and done that. We've seen everything because Prince already did it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is nothing new here. This is nothing new for us. But okay, yeah, sure. If you find it shocking, you should have been around back in the 70s and saw some of those other album covers from a lot of artists. A lot of artists. Hey, we've got Gary. Hello. Now, Gary is also a G. All right. So G's in the house. G's are in the house. Absolutely love to have Gary here. Thank you for chiming in. We absolutely love to get all of the Prince love. Something about Prince, like I said, brings us together. So number 2 is, for me, is Love Sexy, because it is just it's just that beautiful. Now, if I had to go with number 3, I'm going to say Let's Work, because when I get out on the track, and even though I tell myself I should not run, because these knees have pounded on some pavement, Let's Work comes on and I am done. Gwendolyn, it's done. I can't kind of help but like move a little faster, and I just get extra fitness minded, and I'm thinking I can conquer the world. And then after a quarter mile or so, I'm like, I'm not going to conquer the world anymore. I'm just going to power walk. Yeah, but it works. It gets me started. It definitely gets me started. What can I tell you? It definitely gets me started. But Let's Work would be my number 3 on that list. Oh man, if I go to number 4 and 5, what would I do? Because okay, so I'm gonna say shh. Does everybody know that? Now I know Tevin Campbell, Lord bless him, he did a good job. He did a great job, but I don't believe he had the adult chops for a song like that, if I may say so. When Prince does his own songs, you just really get the feeling. That there's a couple others that someone who's covered it made it their own, like Shaka Khan and I Feel For You. Like clearly that is Shaka's song, right? Like that's hers. But Shh by Prince, man, you talk about setting the mood for Friday night. Ooh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. So that would be like my number 4. And 5? Last December. I want to say that's the Rainbow Children is where that one was. It's a beautiful song about your last December, and if you die, when people remember to remember you, right? I thought, oh my God, like he goes there. He always goes there. But those are my top 5. What are yours? Cameron says that again. I Would Die For You is on his list. That's his number 1. And then Spencer is reminding us that Stevie Wonder is here. Stevie Wonder may very well be another artist that will bring a lot of people together, right? I'm thinking worldwide. I can definitely see Stevie being a worldwide remembrance. I can definitely see that. But we knew that Michael Jackson would definitely be that one, and Prince would definitely be the other one, because they are like, right? So let's talk about Prince saving G's life and why I am the way I am today, right? And I'm going to take you back to 1994. Now, if you were not born at that time, I don't want to hear it, because I don't need to know that you weren't even around in 1994. Just ride out with me. Just vibe out, okay? Just like get in the time machine and let's go back to 1994. Because I know some of y'all are a little bit younger than me, but that's okay though, right? I can still hold my own right here, right? But senior year in high school, you know how it should be a joyous moment. It should be. Didn't turn out that way for Gwendolyn. It did not work out that way, and it's one of those places where, if you believe and you subscribe to the let me be gracious here. The story of work really hard, get straight A's, get the 4.0 GPA, blah 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 blah, will happen for you. Okay, so we were following that until a mistake was made. And being so naive, I just figured, well, if you make a mistake, you fix a mistake and all is well. But it didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way. My time to even get to graduation was hellish. And it was bad enough being a teenager. And I don't consider myself as an awkward teenager. I was a nerd. I got my daddy's body when I was in high school. you know. Gwendolyn was not fine. He's like, well, she's cute, but we weren't, yeah. So we were not that kid. We were not the popular kid, okay? So then you add this extra stress from the administration, and life just takes a turn. So all those things that you had heard about, do this and be the smart one and blah blah blah, it's all BS. It's all a lie, right? Those numbers don't mean a thing, absolutely nothing, because you find out that people can do what they want to do, and as I was so graciously threatened, hold you back from graduating. And so I got my very first CD Prince album, because Prince was not safe for the Houston household. If you've ever looked at some of Prince's older work, and again, album covers in the 70s and things, I call a little risque. They were free. We were free with creativity and expression in the 70s, especially with album covers. But Prince was really not the safest person. Michael Jackson was pop. Mother was a minister. So Prince was not allowed in the household until, of course, now I'm in high school, I could buy my own stuff. And if you know about Columbia House and that 1 cent, the 1 penny for the 10 or 12 CDs, then you know that I got a lot of CDs for a little bit of money back in high school. Miss Columbia House, I'm sure I still owe the money for the CDs I purchased under various names, but whatever. That's a side story. So the hits and B-sides was my very first Prince album, and it was Let's Go Crazy, right? Because it just talked about, despite the world doing what the world would do, right? And despite the fact that you have these elements try to hold you down, you punch for a higher floor, right? And you just keep going. And of course, the very end of it has the most beautiful guitar solo. I mean, Prince has a lot of beautiful guitar riffs and things, right? But this one, it gets so loud that when I would be at home doing my step exercise, I would turn it up. I mean, I'd crank that sucker. And if you've ever seen old photos, and some of us know, stereo systems, you had speakers up the side of the walls. I mean, you just had speakers for days. And the whole deal was to make your house shake, literally have the glass shake in your house when you're playing your music. It was that loud. Loved it. But playing that song over and over and over again got me through those last few months of senior year. And then I continued, like, something about reading the lyrics, right? And if, I know we're flashbacking here with reading CD liners and getting into all of the beauty of the CD liner to see who wrote what and who sampled what and who is singing, and, oh, are they dating? What? Miss CD liners. But it kept me sane. Now, that was the first time it kept me sane. The second time was when I got a little bit older, and work life isn't always great. Like, everybody goes through some ups and downs on the work life. And there was a moment where I thought, I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I love what I'm doing, but I'm not going to make it. And we all have a moment in our career where we're just like, why are we here? And why am I doing this every day? And I don't know if I'm going to make it. So there was a song. I'm trying to remember. Spencer, tell me if I'm wrong. It's called Count the Days. And I want to say it was on I think it's the Chaos and Disorder. It was one of the ones, it's one of the albums that he just kind of put stuff out, which is so funny, right? Because he wanted to end his contract with Warner Brothers, but you have to fulfill the need. And so you should start putting out random stuff. Like there was a moment where we thought, is Prince okay? Because this stuff is like his old stuff. Like you can tell his old music. You can definitely tell. But I was like, but the song Count the Days, right? It's like, we can get through this. We are literally going to count the days down till we can no longer see your face and just keep it moving. So I thought to myself, wow, like there's a song for every single occasion. There's a song when we're in love. There's a song for the pain. There's a song for, I don't know why I'm here. There's a song for everything. And he obviously has gone through a lot himself, right? But man, if there is anybody who has been in my head somewhere giving me strength to sort of keep moving, it's going to be that guy. It was definitely that guy. And my friends know that if you're going to give me a good gift, Prince is it's a good gift to give. Now I will say this, I am not the fan that does like the dressing up. I don't do cosplay like Gwendolyn. That is a no. We don't do cosplay. We don't do the sort of sparkles, bedazzled pants, shoes, and I will do a shirt. Right? And maybe a sweatshirt, but no, I'm not doing that. We're not doing all of that. So that's a no. But give me a great gift. Give me a great gift about Prince, and I will love you until the end of time. I will be there for you. Oh, okay. So no, it was supposed to be the last one. Oh, it was Girl 6. Well, hot dog. I knew it was on one of those. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sometimes the brain is like, was it Chaos in Disorder or was it? No, thank you. Girl 6 soundtrack. A great soundtrack, by the way. Because there's so many songs out there. So tell me this. Do you remember your first Prince album purchase? Now, if you have not purchased one, I'm not going to hold it against you. There is still time to get on that bandwagon. There is no way to go wrong. If anything, the hits and B-sides will catch you up really quick. But do you remember your very first one? Because you're like, wow, this is it. And again, there are a couple of classes of Prince fans. There are Prince fans who stopped after he sort of started evolving, which is why, again, I love the man, right? Because we can't stay where we are. Okay, take it back. You could stay exactly where you are. I don't really know how much that serves you, though, to not evolve and change with life. I love his old stuff. I love his new stuff, but our life experiences, they change us, hopefully for the better, but they change us. You have a man who, oh man, went through the process of creating his music, went through the process of fighting for his freedom, fighting for his masters, fighting for control of his music, which is why right now so many artists own their own music, right? Went through that process to own his own. We know he was married. We know he lost two kids. And then he found God, because ain't nothing going to change you like finding the good Lord. You know what I'm saying? So we know that we are always evolving, and our music, our art, the work we put out typically will show people how we've changed, right? Can't really remain the same. Now, I know for myself, if you knew me way back when I had more hair than this, you probably knew me as Gwen. It's a very good chance, because that's who she was. But we came into a place where we defined who we were. And we were like, yeah, we cutting all that off. Like, don't even try it. It is gone for good reason. We are not that person, not trying to go back there. But that's the beauty of evolving and watching an artist evolve. Ugh. Does anybody remember? And I know I don't have the clip available, but when he was inducted into the what's that? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh my goodness! You talk about a guitar riff that to this day still makes me cry. Oh my God! Ugh, the talent there. Not so sure if we'll ever get that kind of talent again. I don't know. People don't really play instruments. I hate to say it like that. Okay, take it back. There are a few people who do play instruments, right? But we've gone to a place of, "Ooh, let's just put out something to put out something." I shouldn't say it like that because one, I don't play the radio too often for a very reason. I enjoy what I have in my circle and I stay there. But is there someone? And I don't mean I know we have Steve, but Stevie's older. I mean, this newer wave of music. Who do we have as an artist that is playing the music and writing the songs and living the like? I'm just curious. I think Janelle Monáe would be on there, right? But I don't know if she plays any instruments. Does she do any instruments? I don't know. Like I can't tell. I know we still have some singers. I mean, Fantasia is amazing, and Jennifer Hudson is amazing with the singing. D'Angelo's out there, right? He does his piano thing, but I don't know if they have that same presence that previous artists had in the past. So let me do this as I'm celebrating how the different music over the years has moved with Gwendolyn, right? Movie Gwendolyn. I want to talk about my friend Spencer real quick because I talked about this before. And since he's here, we're going to give him a public shout out, a public thank you. So I had shared earlier that on April 21st, 2016, my boss and I was blessed with some really great managers. Really, I was. I don't even know how it happened. The good Lord just looked out for me. I mean, he put some people in my path that has left me so much better than the way I started. Amen to that. Absolutely love the people that he sent my way and like changed my life. One of them was my previous manager, Chris Rolfe. Again, recognizing that I was a huge Prince fan, said, "You should go home because he just passed away. You should not be at work." Like, I don't know any other managers who have done that for people when they, see that moment, but you should be that kind of manager. You should be that kind of leader. But then my friend Spencer calls me and we had a 4-hour conversation, 4 hours from Dallas to Houston, 4 hours. And he bought me this book. He gifted me this book, that 21 Nights, because I didn't have it. I got a lot of print stuff, but I didn't have this. And he gifted it to me. And I thought, holy snikes, really? What? Because it has music inside, right? It has music inside, beautiful photography, absolutely gorgeous photography. And I thought to myself, ugh, I don't know if they make them like that anymore. Okay, I'm sure they do. But still. So Spencer, thank you for blessing me with this awesome book. I mean, I keep going back to the photography in this book. Oh my goodness. It is gorgeous, people. It is gorgeous. I don't even know. Okay, so first of all, can we just talk about this man's style? Can we talk about this? Oh my goodness. Nothing against him wearing his thigh highs and bikinis and whatnot when he was like a teenager just starting out and being all androgynous. Nothing against that. But when Brother Man found the suit and the hats and the whole like thing, sharper than all the knives, just super sharp. So again, loved his evolution. Absolutely loved his evolution. But look at those, man, talk about beautiful photography. The music is if you've never heard of the 21 Nights, if you've never heard of that, the music from that live show, send me a DM. I may hook you up Because it is that freaking good. Woo, man, let me tell you, just when you think you've heard it all, if you have not heard everything, and keep in mind that Prince did a lot of things where he would do this sort of one-off CD or album thing. You could only get it at this particular event. If you didn't get to the event, you just didn't get it. Of course, people would take it and sell it on eBay, what have you. But he did a lot of that. Plus, he had all the music from the NPG Music Club, which I was so happy I met a DJ in Boston who burned all of his music and, sold it to all the Prince fans who wanted all the fancy things. Nothing like some of those mixes from those B-sides. Ugh, they were awesome. But when I stop and think about where I'm going in the future, this man is still part of my story, right? When I am out there writing and figuring out what it is I want to talk about or do next, his music is in the background. I'm like, ooh, wait. And I jot that down and I keep going. I'm sure we all have it. I know we all have that one person who just literally touches us and inspires us. But I think back to that day when I was in high school and I bought that first album, and I haven't been, I'm going to say I haven't been right since, but I am very, very well. I'm very well. And throughout all of my journeys, moving to and from New York City, moving from New York City to Dallas, there was a song somewhere in the background that was inspiring me and pushing me forward and telling me it's going to work out. This is all going to work out. Do not fear, it's there. And then, of course, when a girl gets married, she is the most beautiful girl in the world. What can we say? What can we say? So, because it is that time, because I like to do this like 30 minutes and keep myself going, I want to thank you all for tuning in and sharing with me your top songs and what have you. And if you have not played any of Prince's music, I don't know what you're waiting on. I don't even understand. The only thing that would probably be a good excuse is age, maybe. Okay, well, age is there, right? But get you a Prince album, put on some music. If you've never heard One Night Alone, check that out because that's awesome. The books are, well, there's a lot of books out there. There is so much music. I am still waiting for his estate to release all the music that's in there, because on my trip to Paisley Park, we went into the vault. Okay, we were outside the vault, but we were in the room that leads to the vault, and there's a lot. According to them, it is stacked full. You gotta set it free. We gotta set it free. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Gwendolyn is gonna put on some music, get ready for what's next, and I might just do a little purple something later on today.